Mark McDaniel, head coach of the OakRidge-12 Midgets.
Tough game today, Coach. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, I'll tell you, first of all, my hat is off to the New Haven Steelers. Well coached. If their dictionary doesn't have the word quit in it. We had them on the ropes the whole game, and they just kept coming after it. And you know, that's what football is all about. Those kids learned how to play. They're gutsy, they're dynamic, and they're gentlemen. The reflections that everybody was speaking of over there when we met at the middle of the field is a lot of respect, both teams, and it's what football's all about. I really appreciated their attitude. They're a class act.
Class act goes for you guys as well, and Coach, you did kind of prevail in that second half as far as I don't know what it is. Sometimes it's hard to actually define what happens. But can you give us a sense of when the game seemed to change really in your favor?
Well, it was you know, we really were getting very good line surge. We were getting good effect up front, and we just turned the ball over. And they were very, very effective at collaring the ball carrier and then stripping. And they were very effective at that. They're well taught at that, and they're good tacklers. And you know, when you turn the ball over against a good team like that, you better watch out. And we dodged a few bullets today.
Yeah, I noticed that they, a little too late for them, but nevertheless, they hit a couple of long passes where they got behind the secondary, and he threaded the needle. But hey, if that had started earlier, who knows what would happen.
I'm going to tell you, they're just excellent athletes. Number 4, number 1, number 5, and number 28, they all just defied gravity. I mean, there were times we had them and had them and had them and had them and had them. They just kept spinning and moving, and they were really a dynamic group of athletes. And you know, my hat's again is off to them. You know, we usually tackle better than that. And I'm going to tell you, they made us look like bad tacklers at times because of their elusiveness. And it was just the inner spirit these kids have got. I mean, they're really, really tough. And I'm just glad we didn't have to play them again. I wouldn't want to do that.
Well, let's talk about your Colts for a second, because they're a spirited bunch too, and they never give up. You have a couple of running backs who, speaking of being able to twist and turn and never give up, man, there are a couple of young men I saw there who refused to go down on key plays in that fourth quarter. Tell us about some of that.
Well, we teach going and going and driving and driving and driving, and we teach running backs punish defenders. Defenders don't punish running backs, and they take that to heart. They're excellent. I'll be very surprised if about a half a dozen of our players don't start on their varsity high school teams, not JV teams for next year, but their varsity teams. Number 17, Terrell Jones, he's never played running back before. And when I got him, I thought, my goodness, you know, maybe I'm wrong, but that looks like a running back to me. And he's a running back. And number 8, Terrell Leach, we call him T1 and T2, has got elusiveness and moves and spins, and don't congratulate me on anything. The only thing we did is make sure we don't coach him, because you getting me? What he's got, God gave him, not a coach.
You know, that's interesting, because sometimes I think coaches have to know how to get out of the way when it comes to instinct. You can coach, you know, positioning, you can coach a little bit as far as working with other people on the club in any given situation, but man, instinct takes over sometimes, and you don't want to get in the way of that.
Well, I'll tell you, the only thing we can do is mess him up. You know, we just, now, there's the hole, there's the play, you do the rest. And I don't want to forsake little Avery Taylor, number 2. I mean, he's just a tank. I mean, he's about this tall. But I'll tell you, he's got tremendous power, and he's a great defensive player, too. I think he made 4 or 5 tackles behind the line of scrimmage. And I mean, he's just a tiger. It's if you were to open him up, it's just nothing but a fireball on the inside. So it's we're real pleased to have him.
Now, who's this kid? Did I hear right? You call him Double E? Is that it?
Well, there's Double E. He's number 3. He
Yep.
plays safety, and he's also a gifted running back. And I mean, he showed some elusiveness, and we got a touchdown call back. But he's a card too. He's the team joker, and he's just a terrific kid.
I was impressed. You know, sometimes you don't have to be too demonstrative to get things done. And I was impressed with your quarterback. He's sharp, he comes right in, he gets the play, doesn't mess around. He's the field general out there, but talk a little bit about him.
Taylor is Taylor Smith. Now, the center is his little brother, although he's bigger, the Smith brothers, and Taylor's just a good kid. He's very, very intelligent, and many of the times that we're discussing plays, he has good suggestions, and I've never actually heard a suggestion from him I didn't take. He's got really good vision. He knows the game. He knows what you're supposed to do. He knows where the blocking assignments are, and he'll tell you what kind of techniques they're using. And he's got very, very good peripheral vision, so he looks to see if the defensive ends are crashing, whether something on the outside. The first long run by T2, Terrell Leach, he said, "Coach, defensive ends moving in real close. I think what we do is fake the 34 pitch it to Leach, and it just worked with charm." So
it helps to have a kid who you can sort of see as a coach on the field, I would think. That takes a little bit off your shoulders.
Well, it does. I mean, it's better to have a smart quarterback, and I'm kind of a stupid coach on the sideline, so I'd rather have him out there doing what he's doing.
Well, how many of these kids have come back from last year's club?
Just four.
Just four?
Just four. Yeah, we rebuilt, and, you know, the team has just gelled very, very well. They're good kids. As good athletes as they are, they're better human beings.
You know, I saw that out there. They seemed very supportive of each other when the penalty came and Double E's great run was called back. They were, you know, supporting everybody. Nobody pointed fingers or anything else, which is always great.
There aren't any head cases on this team. They know what it takes to win, and they want to win. And, I mean, there's not been any game other than this one we turned the ball over more than once. I think we had 2 turnovers one game during the season. We turned the ball over, I think, 5 times. And they didn't get discouraged, because you can many times do that. When they got that touchdown, they ran it back when they stripped us and turned the 20-8 game into 20-14. They responded very well by driving the ball. And then we fumbled again, and they still didn't get down. Anybody can do well when the team is in sync. It's when you get out of sync and you got to pick yourself up that you know if a team's got character or not. The 3rd game of the year, we were playing one of our arch rivals up in Winston-Salem, and we were down 12-0 at halftime, and they rallied, and they weren't discouraged at halftime at all. They rallied and won the ball game 14-12. That was the closest game we had all year. I knew then they had heart. These kids just have a lot of drive in them. They don't get upset. They keep getting themselves up, and I think that's a sign of a good football team.
What's your record right now, Coach? Season plus the playoffs.
14-0.
14-0. Great going into that championship game. Now, is it possible to coach hanging onto the ball, not putting it on the ground, or what do you do to perhaps prevent some of what happened today?
Just concentration. I think that what we need to do is just make sure, just forget it. You can't do anything about a fumble that's already occurred. We're going to have to hold on to the ball with 2 hands. That team was the most effective at grab and stripping I've seen all year, maybe in several years. We're just going to have to protect the football. Championships are tough to win if you turn the thing over, so that's one of the things we're going to be talking about tonight.